Hello everyone. I wanted to do a little video just for you patrons, and I thought it would be kind of interesting, maybe, I hope so at least, to show you some of my favorite art supplies, and I mean stuff that I have been having for a long time, that I use the most often, I would say, as well. And these are not at all like the essential things you need to have when you start using watercolors, because most of these are not student grade and they are professional grade, so they are quite expensive. I think I'm gonna start with paper actually. So there are mainly two types of paper I'm using. Show you. I forgot that one. So first of all, I like to sketch anything I'm doing before making the final watercolor. I like to sketch in like very basic sketchbook like the one by Artiza. Honestly, I didn't enjoy their watercolor paper, but the one for drawing is just nice. I mean, I either sketch on that or on basic printer paper, like basic copy paper. So yeah, this one I haven't used yet, but my other one is like already full of sketches from previous years. So yeah, the paper is smooth, white, so nothing very fancy. And then once my sketch is done, I like to either redo my sketch, like a neat version of my sketch. So I have a cheap option here. It's a sketchbook by Be Creative. It's a watercolor sketchbook journal, and it's 100% cotton. And I don't know if you can see the texture of the paper, maybe if I put it like this. So I like it because the paper has a similar texture to the professional grade paper I'm usually using for watercolors. I've been doing a lot of artworks in that one. You can see it's quite empty already. I don't know, I should maybe purchase another one. Oh, look, a sketch. Unfinished. But I have a lot of these. I'm not sure I'm gonna finish this one anytime soon, but oh well. Next up are the Archie's watercolor paper. This is a very high quality watercolor paper. It's made of 100% of cotton. Actually, this is the best quality you can find in watercolor paper. Is made of cotton. So this one is the hot press 300 gram per meter, and you can see with the hot press it's very smooth. So this paper is usually a very good option if you're intending to work and like draw fine details and paint fine details, because it allows you for a lot of precision, you see. Whereas the one I'm using most of the time is the cold pressed, same 100% cotton. And I'm gonna show you the difference. You can see the texture here. So this is the paper I'm usually using for my big pieces, and this one is a glued pad, so you actually can paint on that pad. You can eventually add some painter's tape if you want, but you're not obliged to. This is the paper I've learned to paint on actually, and I really enjoy it. I mean, once you have finished, you can withdraw the page by cutting it over here. There is a little space, and you cut around your page. Or you can actually just withdraw the paper sheet and put it onto a plain surface, like either your desk or some kind of acrylic sheet or whatever. Anyways, these are the paper I love the most. Do I have some other papers? I have a lot of other papers, like samples or sketchbooks, but really these are the ones I'm using the most. There are other brands, of course, but I mean, each time I'm trying something else, I always return to Arches. So I told you about the painter's tape. I'm using 3M. It's like the real painter's tape for anything you have to do in your house. If you need to paint your walls, actually this is the type of painter's tape you would use. This one is really good because it's actually it sticks very well, but it doesn't like get your paper off once you have to take it off, once you've finished painting. I also used a cloth. Nothing fancy here, it's just a very basic cloth. I'm using this instead of the paper rolls, you know, the basic one that are one use. This one I can use like infinitely, and when I'm done using it I can simply wash it, so it's more eco-friendly. I also use like big jars like this that I upcycle from like marmalade or stuff like that. It can be useful as well to use some clamps like this one. You can put them on your sketchbooks or watercolor pads. I have them in several sizes. I have bigger ones as well. Like you can find them, like it's quite cheap. Then shall I go with drawing? All right. I'm sorry, this is not a very organized video. It's just that I don't know, the idea popped in my head and I thought, yeah, why not doing that? Like, sorry, I'm just trying to sort things out. So I'm going to show you what I use for drawing. There are some fancy stuff and some that are really basic. And I must admit, a lot of these supplies I've got from subscription boxes. So once again, if you want to start drawing, you don't have to use all of this. All right, I think I have all my pencils. I didn't know I had so much. So these are actually erasers. All right, so let's start with the basic. I'm gonna put this aside so I can actually show you things better. So this is a very basic pencil. It's graphite pencil. This one is from a brand called Dessert. It's a Canadian brand. So you won't find it if you're like from France or Germany or whatever, wherever you may be. It's very basic. It's an HB pencil. Then I use Staedtler 2H pencil. It's a Mars Lumograph. I don't know if you can see. Yep. So these are very, very good. It's like, I don't know how they do that, but the quality of Staedtler is very good. Then I have some mechanical pencils. I have a very basic Sakura 0.5. You see, I don't know if you can see here with the lead. And there is an eraser here that's almost dying. I have some erasers I can put, like it shows like this and you just insert it. Then I have a Staedtler 1925. Can you see? So this is funny because I have some other mechanical pencils, but I really don't enjoy them all because some have grips here that are too harsh on my fingers and I don't like it. I'm quite sensitive to everything that I touch. or that is in touch with my skin. So yeah, that one is actually not smooth at all, but the grip is good. It's pretty good. It's a fine pencil. Then I have this one by Alvin. It's cut. I think it's kind of big. It's a B2. Sorry about that. Can you see the lead here? It's quite big and it's more greasy. Alright, and I recently acquired this Pentel Orange pencil. It's 0.2 pencil lead. It's very, very thin. So actually, I don't know if you can see on the camera, the lead is here inside of this little thing, and you're not supposed to like put it out, like advance the lead beyond that pipe, because it's so thin that it would break, you know. So yeah, I wanted a very thin pencil, and apparently this one is very good from what artist friends told me. So I think it's gonna be one of my favorites. What else? Of course, I have some lead and something quite useful if you're in need of doing like a graphite pencil and want to smooth out what you're doing. I can't remember the name in English, but you just draw and then you smooth it out with that thing. What else? Oh yes, okay, I'm just gonna put this here. The erasers. So basically I have this like, I don't know, pencil eraser. So you just use the eraser like so. I have another one that's from Tombow. Yeah, Tombow Mono Zero eraser. So this one is thinner for very fine details you want to withdraw from your drawing. Some people use erasers only to correct something, but what I like to do is to use it to make some highlights. So usually if I want to correct something, chances are I won't be using that one because it's too thin, unless I need to erase something very, very small. But I'm gonna use a kneaded eraser. Look at this funny thing. I have no idea what's the brand of this one. Like, you can take whatever brand you have on hand. But the thing is, they don't make any pencil dust, if you allow me to call it that way. And you can shape it any shape you want. You can tear a little part off and erase like very, very fine details if you want. I mean, the only thing is you shall keep it away from any cat or animals or dust or stuff like that, because as you can see, everything can go inside. It's not like the basic erasers. But yeah, they are very, very good. I really like them. Then, oh, this. Okay, so now for the ink pens. These are my go-to. So these are the Sakura Micron pens. These are archival, quality, and waterproof. So what this means is I can use them on my watercolor paper and actually paint onto it, which is fantastic. So these are my favorites. I have several sizes. I think I have another one somewhere. Yes, I have pens everywhere. 04, you see, this one is the smallest. Actually, you would go like this. So you can buy them in, oops, I'm sorry about that. You can buy them in sets, or individually and you have several pen. I usually purchase sets because I'm using a variety of them. Then I'm also using some Sakura pencils, but the jelly roll in several sizes as well. So these are for white highlights. You probably have seen them. Oh, it's funny, I never realized before, but you can actually see the, where can I show that? The thickness of each pen on the pen. Interesting. Anyways, up to the next thing. I also sometimes use a nib pen. So this is the pen and I'm using like real nibs onto it. So you simply put your nib onto it and you can use your ink, like calligraphy ink and stuff like that. I have them in on my shelves here. The main brands that I'm using is the Winsor & Newton ink. So this is the professional quality ink, and also I'm using Dr. P.H. Martin's Bulletproof White. Yeah, these are my go-to inks. What's next? Brushes. Okay, I'm gonna put this thing aside. So actually I have a lot of brushes and I actually have more in the box. Yep, but if I were to choose the ones I'm using the most, that would be them. So I don't know what you're gonna say, but they are all the same. No, they aren't. This one I'm using a lot for swatching paint or just to do some basic layers of paint. It's flat, but what I'm using the most is rounded brushes. I don't know if you can see. So this is like a mop brush. So this is from Royal & Legnico. It's from the Zen series. This is very good if you have to do like big washes. It holds a lot of water. And I mean, isn't it pretty as well? And then I have this one. It's a little smaller, so it's still good for washes. Same brand. And I also have that one. And this one is the one I'm using for painting. Okay, so these are fine details, but I'm gonna show you my 3 favorites. So we have 2 Raphael brushes. This one is size 8, so it's a little big, but I mean, I love the softness of it. Like, it's really smooth and it's not sturdy. Some, like this one, you know, it stays more in place. Can you see the difference? I don't know if you can see the difference. I'm feeling it, but this one bends better than this one. Anyways, Raphael is a very good brand. This one is a precision. It imitates March brushes. I'm only using synthetic brushes. I'm also using this Royal & Legnico brush. It's smaller. This is a size 4. And then we have the precision brushes. So like this. I have a Princeton size 2. I have a Raphael size 2/0. It's a precision brush as well. And I have a Winsor & Newton Cotman series. It's a 000. I purchased some others recently, but I haven't tried them already, so I can't say if they are my favorites. I can show you if I can find them. Yeah, I think that's all. I purchased a size 0 and a size 1, so I can compare them. I don't know if you can see. See, there's not a big difference, but I mean, I guess I'm gonna see it when I'm using them, because I honestly learned by using these two type of watercolor brushes. They are quite big, and yet I managed to do some details, so this is just gonna make my life easier after all. What's next? Some little tools you can use. I'm gonna put them like this so you can actually see them. Alright, so this is some Daniel Smith watercolor ground, so you can use it on any type of surface, so you can actually paint onto it. This one is transparent, but I think you have it also in white, black, and probably silver and gold. I'm not sure about the two last ones, but yeah, it looks like a sort of paste. You apply it onto the surface you want to work on, and you let it dry, and then you can use your watercolors on top of it. Next up, we have some liquid frisket. Are you interested in this? You want the box? What do you want? I'm sorry, of course it's gonna show up. So liquid frisket, what it's meant for is just that you put it on your paper so you can have an area that won't have paint over it. This way you can withdraw it afterwards and have a blank space that you can paint over or just leave blank. It's good for keeping details on your paper or just having blank spaces. Then you can have a little sponge if you want to do some very quick, like bushes or trees or really whatever. You can use it to withdraw some paints as well, and it's very squishy. Then this one is a cheap version of that one. This is some gilding medium. I'm using it to apply some gold leaf or silver leaf or whatever kind of metallic leaf onto my paper. So each one is different. I think this one is water-based. Yeah, water-based, and this one is acrylic-based. I prefer that one, and it's higher quality, but really you can use that one, and I mean, it's really good if you want to start out. Oh, I forgot. Paints. I have tons of paints, as you already know. So I'm going to show you like my go-to palette that follows me when I'm traveling. It's quite big. I can put a lot of colors inside of it. Let me show you here. So you know me, and the tones I'm usually using are like close to green, blues, purples. I still added some red and yellow, but I mean, I'm using a lot of cold tones. I also have a lot of Daniel Smith watercolor tubes, so I put them all in here. Maybe my little brush rest, I love it. You know what, this is actually a chopsticks rest. Yep, you can upcycle quite anything. And you know that in my little drawer on my desk I have some paints from various brands as well. This is some Winsor & Newton Professional watercolors. This is actually the brand I learned painting with, and I would 100% recommend it. It's really good. I know it's a little expensive, but if you're just starting out and don't want to spend too much on the paints, you can also use the student grade brand from this, which is Cotman. So I'm gonna leave you on that. I hope the video was nice. I'll make sure to show you some other stuff. Feel free to tell me what other things you would like me to show you in videos, whether it's tutorials like step-by-steps, anything really. So see you soon. Goodbye.